Good evening and welcome to FTBSports. This is your Manchester United versus Everton fans reaction show. Please drop a like, subscribe, share the link, and follow us on all our social media platforms. So, guys, where do we start? So, obviously, let's kick off to begin with. So, went up sort of 1-0 up, Cavani, very sort of, nice little finish from Cavani. Then obviously we went Bruno Fernandes scored a worldie. Pogba went off injured, and it all fall apart. So let's start with H. Let's start with you. What's your thought process about that game? Because I'm lost. I can't say anything. I'm lost, completely lost for it.
Everton's always one of those one of those teams, that we play, that we have, I suppose, a little bit more of a closer game over the last few years than we've had, from previous times. This game was odd. I think we let them back into it, obviously, with the two, when we were going 2-2, etc. So I think, all in all, was it a fair result? No, because stats obviously say that, but then what matters is the goals, what the finish, etc. Like how it finishes up. Pogba missing just changed the whole dynamics, the game plan, obviously, from what was offset from the beginning. I'm just a bit shocked that Martial didn't get a run out either. I think a few decisions that were made. Again, it's like an Ole kind of thing. Like, we're going for the counter attack. We're playing nice football. Rashford should have bagged a couple as well. So I don't know I don't know what's going on in terms of how we can get that clinical piece sorted with these players. Like that final thought process, get them to finish the game off and deal with it. Because I think that's something like that we've done it too many times. It's not the first time that we've just let 2 points go. All right, fine, we haven't lost, but we needed a W.
Yeah. So, quick one. So, Mr. B, last night on the preview show, we were talking, and I like my stats and stuff like that. And I did say, obviously, with United home form, Everton had a better away record. We had a poor home form, but not only a poor home form, but last season, the last game we played at home against Everton, it was a 1-1 draw as well, and that was an own goal.
Breathe. I don't care about the last game and all of this ever. I care about this game. To me, we were 2-0 up and cruising. The second half, Ancelotti told them to pass forward, which they didn't do in the whole of the first half. As soon as our defence was under pressure, they folded again. Everybody knows if you run at Lindelof and Maguire, you're done.
Yeah.
They're done. And that's what they did in the second half. Instead of picking up the ball and passing it sideways again, they passed the ball forward. Richarlison was in the game. Calvert-Lewin was then able to burst forward, stretch their pitch, stretch their player, drop players in behind. It's the same problem we have. When we play with Lindelof and Maguire, these are the problems that we're going to have. And you know what? I think I've just got to accept it. That is how they play. That's the problem, that's the issue that they're going to have all the time. It's so frustrating.
Stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's we know what our problems are. And until the end of the season comes, we're not going to be able to change it.
Yeah.
Bailly cannot play for whatever reason. I mean, I'm hearing he was involved in a car crash. Whether or not that sure falls and he's hurt his shin. I mean, hurt bum. I have no idea how serious it is, but I heard it's a car accident why he hasn't been able to play. Now, I don't know if he's just unlucky because he's now getting injured outside of football. We need him to be playing. Yeah. Don't leave your house then. Stay at home. You know what I mean? Go
Bubble wrap.
training, go home, yeah. And wrap yourself up like you're a Michelin man, because right now we can't afford to have him not playing. You know?
Yeah.
First off, Lindelof and Maguire look good, but looking back on it, they weren't under any pressure. They weren't under any pressure at all.
The question I was going to ask on Monday on here, because you just said about obviously the first half, there was no sort of threats or anything like that. What I noticed is when Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka went forward, basically you saw Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison, they can get through then, because they know the minute Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka basically burst forward, there's no pace at the back. So on Monday, it's almost like when you watch the game today, I don't know if you notice it, but that's all I could see. The defense, I know people would sit there and go, oh, but Maguire's played so many games. He's the best centre-back at Man United. I honestly believe we still need centre-backs at United.
Yeah. I think we do. I think in the summer we need to purchase centre-backs. A lot of people argue about that. We've got the Tuanzebe, what's his name?
Tuanzebe.
Not ready. I was arguing with my brother about this point as well. We do need another centre-back. But today, like you said, we were comfortable in the first half. That was their tactic, obviously, to exploit the fullbacks going forward and get behind in between them. And it didn't really work in the first half for them. But my issue is we weren't to allow the early goal in the second half and for them to get beyond us and play. Why should there be that sort of space? That ball that Davis played in for Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If that's going to happen, and then I don't know, you shouldn't let a man do that. If while you're 2-0 up, you don't let a man come up that wrong side of you and get behind you like that. That's a big no in my book. You know. And after that, you can see we started. I was comfortable first half with 2-0 up, but after that, you can see they started to get a bit worried. And then the second goal happened, reminded me of the Sheffield United winner. Sort of had time in the box to sort of slot it in. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It's not good enough. Not good enough. I'm not gonna go crazy and everything else. We know our limitations. We know. I'm not gonna say it's the we're not fast enough or anything else. It's the positional for me.
Yeah.
Maguire should not let guys get behind them. Maguire shouldn't be. He knows. We spoke about this yesterday about Llewellyn. He's quicker than him. Do you know what I'm saying? The only problem I foresee is in the air or thing, but Maguire should deal with that. He shouldn't put himself in a position where he's having to chase him back and the ball's being played into space like that. That's what I'm vexed about. Unfortunately, I didn't see the last goal, so I can't really talk on that. But I saw the 4 goals up to 2-2. I mean, 2-1. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Can I just say something?
Don't let people get. Remember, I said yesterday, play compact. Don't let people get behind you. That's the whole issue I've got with the whole thing. Especially when you're saying you're limited, as in so-called pace and everything else. Should never have let that happen. Rubbish.
Can I say something? Is nobody going to blame De Gea for the first goal?
Yeah.
De Gea was at fault for it. De Gea was at fault for it.
Yeah, of course. Red-nosed chief.
But again, for me, we move on to. Let me just finish with the defense, and then because I want to ask H a question about it as well in the first few minutes of the game, and then we'll then move on to you with Mr. B, and then we'll start talking about the De Gea mistake and things like that. So H, when I was watching the game, it's almost like I saw pockets where in the first half, again we had more possession than Everton. We look a bit more stronger than Everton, but it's almost like when I'm watching the game, it's almost like I was looking whenever Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw went forward, and all of a sudden Everton get the ball back. It's almost like a panic, wasn't it? Like for Lindelof and Maguire. That's what I saw anyway. That's what I read from the game. They didn't look comfortable, did they?
Yeah, I mean, like they've got to, like Monday was saying, they've got to be goal side, not let goal side of their attackers, because they ain't gonna catch them at all. And I think that that panic is there because they know they can't catch them, and if they're gone, they're 100% gone.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the problems that we've seen, especially now you've got Luke Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka trying to get up and put the balls in, and you know there's a lot of space. I mean, the second goal, Rodriguez's goal, was actually Fred's fault. You know, he was running right over to the edge to support Shaw, but Maguire there, but he wasn't covering Rodriguez. The runs weren't getting covered again. So, as much as it is, we can blame defense. We've got to blame our CDMs. You know, the ones that have got to be coming back and filling in those spots. And one thing that we can see what Pogba does now is he's been disciplined in that space because he has been sitting in front of the front two a little bit more compared to what we've seen in the past. So once that was gone, it changed the dynamic. Fred should have covered in those spaces. But again, I think the defence side it is something that's just a continuous issue, you know?
Yeah. So...
Because we haven't. It's not like the first time we've talked about it. We've been talking about it now for a bit of time. So
yeah,
like it's something that definitely needs to get addressed. You can't keep doing it. Look, you're playing Southampton 1 week, you win 9-0, great. But that game was a one-off, right?
Yeah.
The consistencies and problems that we see with that Lindelof-Maguire partnership is that pace, and also I just don't think that they believe in themselves to be able to get back in it, which is why we have all these issues. And like playing the ball out from the back is fine, but when you've got three quick attacking players coming at you, you can't be doing them kind of like, oh, let me just pass the ball to Maguire because he's just too much in front of me.
Yeah. So let's go to hold on, let me put that back on. Let's talk to Mr. B now about obviously our favorite player, De Gea. Again, a mistakes there to be made again today. I don't know, like he's been okay this season. I wouldn't say he's still one of the top 5 keepers in the Premier League, but for us we always know in De Gea at the moment he always has a mistake in him, don't we, Mr. B?
Yeah, I think it's got to the stage where it's got to the stage now where it's one mistake in every 3 or 4 games. If you look at what he's doing in a game, it's 1 in 4. You know, he will have a worldie for 3 games and have an absolute stink like he did today.
Yeah.
You know, it get beaten by something that no goalie's saving. Not like that. That was Lloris-esque, what he did, that he made today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You look at Lloris and you think, this geezer's a chump, man. Pickford, this geezer's a chump, man. And now you look at De Gea.
No.
He looked like a chump today. But he's not going to get dropped. I understand why he's not going to get dropped. But at the same time, it's frustrating, man. We're 2-0 up at home. We're 2-0 up at home and give away the lead on what, 7 minutes of the second half. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. I have no words. I have no words. This is not how I expected to be sitting here feeling.
Don't you think that's a mentality thing, though? Like they're not closing off the game. Those finishes, the opportunities that we had, 14 shots, 5 on target today. 5 out of 14 shots. We should be getting at least 80% on target with the quality and the opportunities that were there. We shouldn't be in that position. Because that keeper was there for the taking. Today he was making mistakes all over the place. Ultimately. Like we could, you know.
Olsen. I call him Olsen Grobbler. Seriously, he's rigged. Is there something going on there, man? With that when he did save the McTominay goal. You get a little side package.
Came in with the floor in the morning, innit?
Oh, God.
Little money payment.
With it on Monday, it's like I think I feel the same as Mr. B, because we've been talking and it's almost like we're saying about, we can go for the title and stuff. And I always say we'll wait for this Everton game. But in my heart and heart, I honestly believe we would have gone and taken this 3 points. But again, our home record is appalling. What do you think that's down to? Is that down to for this is for Monday? Do you think that's down to fans, or do you just think the team think they're going to just win the game because it's Old Trafford?
No, I don't think it's down to that. We spoke about this the other day about the season, no fans, and that kind of thing. So it's difficult. It's difficult to no one to spur you on, no one to moan at you. You got to be switched on 100%. You know. So I don't know. This season's a bit bizarre with all the away wins, like you say in the other midweek. It was all away wins, that kind of thing. I think we can't base anything. We can't really assess anything based on the form, our home form, because we're second in the league. Because our away form's good. It's all up in the air. So I can't really read into that too much. I just think we have to look at it in a football perspective. Today, we messed up. We were 2-0 up. I said yesterday I'd rather win 1-0. The reason I said that, and I keep saying that, because this is because of these games. We're winning 3-2, 4. You know, all these tight games we're conceding goals.
Yeah.
The reason I said 1-0, I prefer that victory to score early, which we did, and just hold on to 1-0 because I want us to manage the game with a little bit of pressure. Hold on, be consistent, be compact, and just manage the game. And that was I was really want us to go through, because that's the only thing that gets my heart fluttering. You know.
Yeah.
But as we saw today, last minute goal and the second half, they kick off and they score early. That's the thing. So the error is clear. You got to be compact. Like we said, I'm gonna say it over and over again. This is what I've seen with my own eyes. Compact. If you know you ain't got the pace like Lindelof thing, where you're limited to like that, sit back and then let them come on to you. Don't let them go beyond you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or don't go so high up. You don't no need. You're 2-0 up. Even if you had to park the bus or whatever, a little bit. Just manage the game. It's about game management. Do you understand what I'm saying? When Pogba come off the pitch, I know, listen, Matt, Fred, they do a job, but they're not going to keep the ball and have that ball retain it. Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying? They're not going to do that. So we're going to give the ball. I see Fred. You see that cross by Fred today? Where he pinged it and went up in the air. Did anyone see that? And you see what I'm saying? So all these things, and we seem a bit somber and everything. I'm not that somber, because at least we can see where the errors are. We can see where we're going wrong. You know, if it was any other issue or we didn't know what was going on, then I'd be a bit confused. But I can see clearly. Well, they let them go beyond. They got a bit restricted there. They pushed on, and we got under pressure, and then we collapsed. I can see what happened there. So Pogba come off the pitch. When Pogba's got the ball, he's relaxed. Man on him, no problem. Give it to feet. You know. Think he can turn a man and do whatever. It's composure. It gives that kind of respect. Next time, the guy's not going to rush him because he thinks, oh, God, Pogba's going to roll me or Pogba's just going to pop it off. But if it's Fred or McTominay, press! You know what I'm saying? They're going to press. So it's a psychological thing as well, you know? So I just think we got to be clear. It's defensive limitations, and they got to manage that better. That comes to the management, the staff. You say you're half-time. What are you saying at half-time? Go out there and get 9 goals, another 7? No, you're saying let's manage the game and see it out. And that's where I'm disappointed, because we need to learn to see these games out. We could be real up there, equal on points with City at the moment.
Yeah, easily as well. Mr. B, now, I think if the prediction went through correctly, you'd have won the prediction, wouldn't you? Because I swear you said 3-2, didn't you?
I did, and I also said I think it's going to be a draw.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, God, yeah. You did.
Right.
You did.
Yeah. But to get the draw like that, I feel sick.
It's defeatist, isn't it? It's defeatist.
Yeah, to get the draw like that right now I feel sick. You know what I mean? I'm looking at the players that we have and the players that we need, we do not have in the club.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pogba has come off. And he left. Van der Beek didn't even get to sniff the grass today.
Yeah.
There has to be an issue. Now, to me, if Pogba's out for 2 weeks, Matic ain't getting a sniff. Van der Beek has to get some sort of game
time. Van der Beek has to play. He has to play.
If Pogba is a muscle strain, he's out for 2 weeks. Muscle strain is not 1 week. We've got 4 games in 2 weeks. You're going to try and tell me that Van der Beek's not be able to play a game?
Exactly. He has to, because he's got the legs.
He's going to play.
Yeah, but the problem is we can see the limitation. We can see the limitations of Fred and McTominay. Up to a certain level team in the Premiership, they can play. Once they're up against a higher level midfielder, you can't play both of them. He went on and played both of them. What did the team revert to? The first half, they were in the flow. So when Fred came on, we were already playing like we still had Pogba on the pitch. The second half, the team got in, sat down and thought, Ross Clark, we've got Fred and McTominay playing. And what did they do? And what do we say? That invites pressure. It invites pressure on that box, that unit there. And that's what it did. That is exactly what it did. We had our fullbacks pushing on. We never had nobody to find them. So what was happening? When they won the ball back, our fullbacks already up the pitch. That's when they used Richarlison, and that's when they were more involved in the game. And Calvert-Lewin were more involved in the game because we didn't have anybody to find our wide men. Now, Ollie, he's the manager. We see these things. It has to be addressed in the summer. It has to be addressed in the summer. Because right 100%. Now, it's just pissing me the fuck off. Yeah? we see this. We know what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen. You're going to... What is Van der Beek doing in training? Why he can't get a game? Is he bunning the herb and drinking that alcohol on the side? He ain't getting no game time. He's getting no game time. And I do not understand what is going on.
Jesus. Quick one. I'm going to read out some questions and then I'm going to come back about Van der Beek because it's worrying me at the moment with Van der Beek. So Adam Morrison said he can't wait for us to play away from home. And then Piper 71, yes, he's definitely has Larison. Yeah. Ralph basically said Bruno is class, 50 goals, 50 appearances. So sad the defense not living up to the standard, which is true.
Yeah.
And he's now again free Donny.
Yeah. Free him up.
So
yes.
What who am I going to hit this question to? On Monday, what do we have to do? What Donny has to do to get in this team? What does he have to do? Because I feel so sorry for him because he's a player I've watched and I know how good he is. And nothing at all. Absolutely nothing.
What we have to do is just, they go back, they review the game, don't they? Like we do. We probably go and review the game, we talk about the game, but they go into major detail. And they're experts. We're just part-time sofa guys, you know.
But we can see the problem.
Yeah, I know. That's my point. So the thing is, we put pressure on ourselves because we can't retain the ball. Like Mr. B was saying, in the first half, the fullbacks and push on, knowing left foot, right foot, Pogba's going to reach me. Do you understand what I'm saying? But when McTominay's got the ball or Fred's got the ball, it's a different story. They're good for one job. Do you know what I'm saying? When we were discussing them yesterday, we're saying, yeah, they're good for a job. They do a job. What they're supposed to do. Do you understand what I'm saying? But today, in the first half, I was thinking about everything we spoke about yesterday and over the last few shows about Pogba having license to go forward a bit, and he was enjoying himself. He was strolling out there, pinging balls, popping all around the park. Lovely stuff, you know. But this is the thing. It's an issue of concentration and understanding the game. Just for example, this is just memorizing what I saw out there today. Fred, how can I work this? So there's Fred and McTominay, yeah? Fred gets the ball, pops it into Bruno or pops it into a forward, and he goes forward as well with the ball. So he's out of shape. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's not going to get the ball. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't just stay back. So yeah, don't rush you running to the ball. Do you understand what I'm saying? Makes no sense. These kind of things, it's like you got to teach people. You might be able to kick a ball on it, but an IQ, that's an IQ issue. The same with Maguire. I know I big him up and everything else, but he's got to understand, like you said, what he's capable of doing, what he's not. So we manage the game. Let's see it out. Let's sit back a little bit. It might not be a bit excited or whatever, but let's manage the game. So it's a concentration thing. It's a IQ thing that they need to do. If we were doing a briefing post game, they should be getting ripped. Yeah. It would be like, why are you pushing up? Why are you letting things get beyond you? Just sit back, just drop off a yard or something. You see, simple things like that. Fred, why are you getting out of shape by chasing balls and everything down? He's going to close that man down when he's thinking, I can't really get there. You know, and when I get there, the guy's gonna pop it and play a triangle around me, and then I've got it's little things like that. So I'm not overly thinking because it's small errors, and the players are not good enough with IQ. That's all it is. There's a couple of players out there who are killing us because they don't have the football IQ to be in position correctly and manage the game out, see the game out. And then that comes to Ollie as well. Ollie should at least, or I don't see who's their number 2. Who's Ollie's number 2?
It's Michael Carrick.
I never see him out there barking instructions or something.
I see him sitting on the touchline biting his nails.
Well, there you go. When I see Big Sam and Sammy Lee, you can hear them. Even when there's a 50,000 stadium, you'll hear them barking orders. So that's my issue. I've always said it a lot. Ollie, no conviction, you know, tapping players in the back and everything else. And Donny, Donny has, like you're saying, guys, Donny has to play. He's a baller. He's better than these guys. He has to play, and he can put his foot in. He can do all that. He can do all that. And he will keep the ball. His retention is really good. He wouldn't be giving the ball away like Fred and not so much to McTominay. He wouldn't be doing all that. So it's IQ and coaching staff and management and conviction and telling them what to do. That's what I think, anyway. And I'm a bit upset, to be honest.
See, it's coming out now. Yeah, it's good. I'm glad your feelings are coming out. Don't sit there and act like you weren't pissed. I'm pissed off.
I'm
disappointed. It's disappointing.
Disheartening. Age. Do you think? Obviously, we're talking about the Donny van der Beek here. Do you think, like with Ole, he's got favoritism? He favors certain players, so he doesn't trust certain players in playing, and he will constantly play in his favorite ones. Because for me, Van der Beek should be playing. He should have played today. He should have. Pogba is off. He should have played.
I think the problem that we have with trust, we've been talking about trust for the last 3 managers, yeah. And the reason I'm pointing this out is the issue with our defence was their Mourinho, Van Gaal days, yeah. So ever since we lost Vidic, Rio, you know, we've not had that centre partnership that's been there. With Donny, definitely trust is something that you can see, and I think there's a little bit of a lack of trust across players to give them that responsibility of the role that they're going to go out and get told to do. Like the gents have said today, there's stats, there's reviews, there is game plans, there is, you know, there's so much information that these players get, but before a game, that they have got every single angle covered, you know, like literally to get it right from every single point of view. There's no excuses there. So when we talk about football IQ, you see the man's running after the ball and then they're out of position. So the Donny van der Beek thing, we haven't seen a Donny van der Beek at 100%, right? And I don't think we will see that Donny van der Beek unless he's given a flat run of games and the right position. Donny van der Beek is an attacking midfielder with a bit of a box to box kind of background, you know.
Mentally.
You know.
Go on.
So for me, for me, I was just gonna say that the trust, and I think for what he wants out of his game plan, I don't think he sees it. I don't think he sees it.
Okay, so Mr. B, my concern at the moment, and I'm going to say it, I don't know if any of you guys agree with me. We've just signed Delal for 35 million. We've got Van der Beek, we're not playing. And at the moment, Pogba came off, right? Van der Beek didn't come on, yeah? Why is Ole not even having these guys as even like for Delal as a sub, just in case to like, he could have come on today and he could have hurt Everton as well with his pace.
Yeah, but then he would have been replacing Greenwood, who, in all fairness, didn't play that bad. So it probably would have been something different. Understand, it probably would have been something different to Greenwood. Dalot at the moment, I don't mind if he's not being rushed. I want them to bring him when they feel that he's ready. I've been watching him on the under 23s. He looks like he's a good player.
He's a killer, isn't he? He's a killer.
He really looks like he's a good player, but they're gonna know more than us. I'll tell you what. We always play our under 23 game the Friday.
Yeah.
The day he's not in the under 23 squad is the day that we get gassed on our preview show because he's definitely going to be in the match play squad.
Yeah.
You know, so that's going to be our sign, but it can't be too much longer because he's been involved in a lot of goals and a lot of good work. At the end of the day, he's training with the first team, you know, but he's playing with the under 23s. So he will get his opportunity within the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I mean, all it takes is another injury and then he's in the squad because right now, if Pogba's out for the next 2 games, Lingard's gone. All right, Lingard wasn't there. Mata's not getting on, so you're probably looking at...
Bring me back to Lingard. Sorry, I'm interrupting you. Man in the match again today. Performance.
Who was?
Lingard.
Yeah, I don't have no time for the waste, man. I don't have no time. I'm glad he's doing well. We got Lingard. But you know what? Let's be honest. Lingard was a bag of shit, man. You know what I mean? He had outgrown his purpose for us. Everybody still thinks Lingard's that young 22-year-old guy because he still dances. I'm glad. Let him go there and enjoy his freedom. You know, there's no pressure playing for West Ham. Go and play because I don't want him back at United. Let us get £5 million for him. You know what I mean? Try and invest it somewhere else and let him go. Those players have had their time. Those players have had their time.
Yeah.
Adam's just coming with a question as well.
Adam is saying, how do we concede 3 goals at home to Everton and 6 to Tottenham, but away from home we look like Barcelona?
Our emphasis away from home is we're allowed to sit back and counter attack. That is our main thing. We sit back, boom, 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 boom. As soon as they come to attack, we find the space. When we have to think about it, and we never had no thinkers on the pitch, we didn't have enough technical players on the pitch to cause them trouble when we were absolutely dominating. We could have gone in the first half with 4 goals.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, if we look back on the game, if we were more clinical or those passes had been more sensible, but I said, we've got Fred and we've got McTominay. I don't blame McTominay today. I blame Fred because he came on today and we said about it. Once that idiot boy passes the halfway line, we're in trouble. What does he try to do? He had a shot today with his right foot. Where did it go? It rolled like a pea roller. He's a professional footballer. You know, there's things that you can't do. Yeah, right. You understand there's things that he does on the pitch that I don't understand. Defensively, he still lacks a bit. But he lacks so much more going forward. McTominay and Pogba, when they were on, had a nice one went forward, one stayed back. One stayed back, one went forward. One went left, one went right. They looked like they had something that was on. Fred came on and thought he just had ideas above his station.
Thank you.
And he killed us.
It's like Fred the Fraud, isn't it? Fred the Fraud came to her.
You know, so there's players who, you know what I mean? Van der Beek could have played instead of Fred.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's getting painful. It really, really is getting bloody painful. You know, we see these things every week. We talk about these things every week. You know, and every week it's the same. Fred's a bag of shit. They're too slow. There's this. There's that.
Hold on, TJ. Hey guys, by the way, TJ is on your case tonight. Rather have Phil Jones in midfield than Fred.
He scared him with his face. Yeah. Wait, is Phil Jones still at the club?
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, he's injured.
He's injured. Oh God,
He's been
surprise.
Yeah,
I like that message, Mr. Bandiardi.
Yeah, it's top message.
Yeah. Right now, I mean, I think that shows to me the level that you think Fred actually plays at.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad there's an agreement there because he's not a. I don't think Fred is a top 6, top 7 centre mid midfielder, centre mid for Premiership centre
I
midfielder.
totally agree with you.
I agree
Totally agree
with
with
you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass this on to you in a minute on Monday, but I agree with you, and the reason why is he's not technically a sort of a defensive midfield player, is he? His trade. If you watch him as well for Brazil, he actually played box to box because that's what player he is. So he's like trying to adopt to a role what Jose tried to fit him in, and then it just continued because we don't have that sort of player.
Yeah, but
at the club.
but what does he do when he goes box to box, bruv?
Well, we ain't seen him yet.
We saw him
Well,
today.
I've
Every
seen-
time he runs
I've seen enough.
box,
I've
he's
seen enough.
pathetic.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not.
He's mess.
He's not a box
He's
to
mess.
box.
Yeah.
Just to say, know your role and stick to it. Don't start trying to be something you're not.
No, you're
Yeah.
not.
You know, he's most effective when he just plays pinching players, you know, and tracking man down and doing all that kind of job. Don't try and do anything extra. All these extra things, like you said, we said the other day, standing over free kicks or doing all those things. Trying
Get
to
away
shoot.
from them free
He had
kicks,
a
man.
shot in the first half, didn't he? Or he had a shot in the first half where, oh no, when Pogba came off, he had a shot and the commentator said, "Oh, if only that was Pogba," sort of thing. I was like, "Yeah, stay back, man. We don't need you."
Yeah.
You're
No,
just
don't
taking
need you in those
you're
positions.
taking up other players' place.
Yeah. He's a liability. To put it straight, he's a liability. He's not, like you said, he's not a top 6 player. We fit him in. I know we talk about McFred and all this kind of thing, but they do this simply because they do a job.
Yeah.
And all they've got is work rate. Up,
Yeah,
down,
that's it.
drills. That's all they've got. Beat
Yeah.
test business. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So
So
they
that's all we
beat
want.
test
That's all we
champions.
want from them.
Yeah.
That's all we want from them. We don't want no frills, nothing. Just do your simple job and stick with that. You know, simple things.
Yeah, 100% with it. But let me just bring him in.
Sorry,
H is working. That's right. Internet dropped off.
I'm gonna get my charger.
Yeah. So, but guys, again, we're gonna go through some of the players' rating and stuff in a minute. But for me, it's a difficult one. It's a hard pill to swallow right now for me because I just sat there in my head, and when I saw us go 2-0 up, I was so excited. Cavani at it again. What did you make of his performance today, H?
Cavani, his movement, where he gets his positioning, it's just a proper number 9, isn't he? Like he's something that I think we've just missed, and he just shows since he's come his qualities. And the thing is, he's always going to be that person who's going to get in that position. You know, Cavani throughout his whole career has done that. You know, if we had a 5-a-side squad and Cavani was there, you'd pick him because, you know, we'll bag a goal.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing with Cavani. You can rely on him. You know, he might miss a game, like in terms of scoring, but what he does inside that game is allow other opportunities and allow other players to come into play. You know, he's like what we've been talking about. He's got the football brain. Age,
Yeah.
experience, the finishing, the right place to be where at the right time. Obviously, in training, you can see Bruno's consistently looking for him. Marcus is looking for him. Greenwood's looking for him. And when you see that, then you know that there's obviously he's become a focal point in that. And when you compare it to what we've had with Martial, obviously Martial doesn't do that. Martial's used to coming running in. Not being an out-and-out number 9, not being on that 6-yard line like a number 9 should be. You know, that's in my opinion. I think he's been not exactly what we've needed, but he's doing the job.
So, Mr. B, like with Cavani, whenever I watch him play, I just think he brings the energy and the passion back. It reminds me of, obviously, Zlatan. He reminds me of the Zlatan days. But he very much so reminds me of like a Cantona, oozing that confidence.
He reminds me of Carlos Tevez. You see, when Tevez played for us, until he decided that he wanted to be a wanker, but when his head was on the game for us, he was top. He didn't stop the harrying. He didn't stop the pressuring, and he was the catalyst. That's what Cavani did. There was about 4 phases of play in the first half where he started the press and ended the press. So he would start the press and go. That got Bruno, Rashford, and Cavani Greenwood going. But what he did, if you looked, he was always the last person trying to press the man, whether the ball went into midfield. That is contagious.
Yeah.
That is contagious. And that's what he is bringing to the team at the moment. That, no run is a wasted run. You understand?
Yeah.
If you put your 100% heart into it, it gets appreciated. People see it. You understand? Yeah. So there's players who, when you see that press start and they don't make that effort, you're thinking, okay, are you really buying into this? And that's what I don't like to see. When the team goes, the whole team has to go.
But there's a few players that are like this.
Go on. Who's going first? On Monday?
Sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you were saying something.
No, it was Shah.
Monday.
It was Shah.
Go on, Shah.
I'm just saying, like, there's a few players that are like that. You think, like, that, I'll give you a really good example of, like, that press. And, if you lose the ball, like, if you're playing with your mans in a 5-a-side, you're running back to go and do everything you can to win that ball back, 11-a-side. That, that's how I've always been taught football. You lose the ball, you're going to go run 110 times effort to go and get that ball back. Wan-Bissaka's a really good example of that. Cavani's a really good example. Bruno's a really good example. But when you look at sometimes Greenwood, Rashford, they have these moments where they switch off and they don't go and do that. Like, they need to do it for 90 minutes. It can't be just a 2-minute thing.
Yeah, totally. So I agree with what we said talking about. It's like, I've noticed today, Bruno is wicked at pressing. He will press. And this is just about IQ. When Bruno pressed today and Cavani was out wide, he came and filled in for Bruno. Do you know what I'm saying? It was just a natural thing. He knows, I've got to fill in his space. That kind of thing. So this is what I'm talking about, IQ. Whereas Martial and all these other guys might not have that. And they need to learn this fast from... There's the example right in your training, like you're sitting next to you on the bus, I shouldn't say the bus, on the coach. Don't want to say the bus with Man United. You know what I mean?
Go on.
There's a message here from Chris Bello 5. I'm here from the Instagram post you guys commented about me starting a YouTube channel. This channel looks unreal. It's just saying, lads, keep it up. Thank you very much, Chris. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.
All support is appreciated, man. Thank you very much. Spread the word. Spread the word.
Appreciate it.
Tune in, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, so let's... You know what, as much as we're talking about it and as much as I'm letting frustration out here, I'm still burning. I'm proper burning at the moment still. I am proper fuming right now. I can hear the TV in the background and it's almost like, you want to turn it off.
Yeah.
But it's
mine is off.
So, okay, we're going to go through one or two little things now quickly and then we're going to call it a night. So, first thing, guys, can you please like, subscribe, share our page? Thank you, Chris, for popping up and really appreciate your support. Like, subscribe, share as well, please. We're going to go through in a minute. Okay, go on. You guys can see this one. I think you got your laptop, haven't you, Mr. B, so you can see
Luke Driscoll. In the immortal words of Big Sam Allardyce, Everton won the second half 3-1.
Very true.
He's not wrong.
Very true.
I can't even come back to that, Luke. I can't. I have no comeback to that. I just have to sit here and eat humble pie.
Yeah. Well done to Everton. Like we said, we've got to give them credit because at the end of
the day, we don't.
Credit's due.
No, I'm not giving them. No, I'm sorry. I am not giving Everton no credit. We gave them their goals, bruv. Yeah. I'm not giving them no credit. None. None. They don't deserve it. Hold on.
Well, guys. You know what's really disappointing? Because the Sheffield United game, it's a winnable game. We should have won that. The Everton game today, we just watched it. We should have won that. Where would we be with these extra 4 points right now?
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? This is the whole point. So and when we break it down, it comes down to certain men don't have the IQ and the coaching staff can't deliver and demand it from the players.
Yeah,
that's what I see. 4 points we could have.
Imagine
easily.
Imagine.
Oh, sorry, not 4 points. We lost, didn't we?
Yeah,
we
lost to the draw. Yes, sorry,
4 points.
So 2 points, 2 extra points we could have had.
Yeah, imagine Roy Keane
in
the changing room with them now. Roy
If
would
who
be
was,
killing
sorry.
them right now.
Oh, Fergie would be murdering them.
Go on. I think another one from Luke for you, Mr. B.
That reminded me of the 2012
Yeah, I remember that.
4-4 when Pinar scores with the last kick of the game.
Yeah. But that was
Yeah,
under
your
Fergie.
memory's good, boy. But yeah, that was under Fergie. That's
But did Fergie come back and win the league next season?
Yeah, well, can you see? I'm not being funny. Unless they
That's
back
the
Ollie,
response.
we're not talking about winning leagues. I just want to win. I want to win our next game now.
Yeah, that's
and our
it.
next game now. You know,
West Ham,
because
isn't
you know it's not a loss, but it feels like
bitter.
a loss.
Yeah,
It's a loss.
it
It's a loss. Mr. B, it's a loss. It's a loss because
It's a loss. It's bad.
when
It's a sour
you are
taste.
fighting for a title race, every single point counts. Yeah.
Fair enough.
If you want-
Okay, fair enough.
We are Man United. We should be title challengers.
Season after season.
We shouldn't be getting man's looking at us thinking, oh, do you know what? They're gonna finish third. That's a good achievement. We finished third last season and 66 points.
Right,
and
we need to be better.
That's not even the place where we should have been. We should be always 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That's all that should be on everyone's head. The moment you wake up in the morning, you thought, do you know what? It's going to be a good game. That's 3 points. Let's go. These guys are there. They're thinking they got the 3 points in the first half. This
and never come out in the second half. Thank you.
I'm gonna have my oranges. You know what? I think the sandwiches they're already ready. You know,
And the water.
I'm gonna go
The water's
the
and the
sandwiches.
oranges.
Or in the keeper's case, he had a glass of whiskey with Fergie. His nose was red up. I done a little meme. Said, "Oh, seriously, no, what's your nose? How come your nose is so red?" You know, it's not. No, it's these things not good enough.
Okay, so
But on the positive, sorry, can I just drop something, please? On the positive, Wan-Bissaka, do you see in the first half, whipped the ball in from the 6-yard box in the danger area? Is that kind of thing's got to happen more, you know?
100%. 100%.
But you need to have like a. I feel sorry for Greenwood because he shouldn't be being playing out on the right.
Why?
Why? Because Greenwood is a number 9, isn't he? Like, there's you know, they're developing him in the wrong way. I think personally.
So what would you suggest? What would you suggest with Greenwood then? Because right now we agree that Cavani is our number 1. If Greenwood is now sitting behind Cavani, he's going to get less game time.
Yeah.
At least playing out right, he's
getting
all right. It might not be the position that they feel he's going to play, but there's not a lot of forwards, especially the young ones, who start as the centre forward. For whatever reason, you look at Thierry Henry. He started wide left and became a centre forward. Cristiano Ronaldo played left and right. Now he's a centre forward. So maybe it's an evolution thing where he's learning different traits of the game. You know, because as I said, if he's playing behind Cavani, he's going to have a long wait. You know,
he will do, yeah.
I agree with you. What I'm going to say though is, if you look, you got Luke Shaw overlapping with Rashford, Martial on the left, right? That's a consistent thing. With when Wan-Bissaka plays with Greenwood on the right, Greenwood tends to sit a little bit forward, but most of the time you see Bruno passing the ball to him, and Bruno going out to the right instead of sitting in the middle.
In that pocket, yeah.
That pocket. Go on.
I'm quite happy with Greenwood on the right because we're playing 2 inside forwards, so people on the wrong side, wrong foot. I was only last week when he started Greenwood on the left, you know. But like we say, if that was the case, Rashford should be playing on the right, like Kanchelskis, run down the wing, cross, or like your guy James, you know. Anyway, but I think with Greenwood, I think what's really good for him, like you say, he's going to develop as a player. He will probably be a number 9, but he's not a number 9 now because I don't think he can head a goal. You're not going to see
18.
him score headers and all that kind of thing and battle man like that. Like Calvin Llewellyn or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
But the thing, look here, he can chop inside and out. You think he's going left foot, chops? No, I can shoot on my right. Chops on the left, yeah? He brings that element, which is really, how many 2-footed players do we see, you know, in the game today? It's really rare. Yeah. So he's playing. My thing is, he's playing, he's getting the confidence, So I'm really happy about that because all this experience he's having, he's sort of gone, his form sort of dipped up a little bit, but he still continues to get games, and that will make him a greater player in the long run, I think. So I'm quite happy, but it's up for debate. You make some good points still.
See, that's what I was saying, H, just about him being able to get some game time. Sorry for cutting you off. Go on.
No, sorry. All I was going to say was, in response to that, it's a case of we're relying on Wan-Bissaka to put a ball in. Yeah. Now, we're relying on Wan-Bissaka to be able to do the overlap run and then have to run all the way back to cover our defense. Yeah. But the problem that you have is you can't always rely on these sort of players that haven't got all that experience yet. And we need someone who's experienced on the right wing just to come in, start the game off, bring those players in slowly. If you're giving them 90 minutes, we're going to end up in those similar situations. You know.
So just for jokes, we need some experience. We go and buy the Atlanta boy. He's 19 or whatever his name is.
Yeah, it's 19.
You know what I mean? But it's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
But the reason we say that, but 35 million in today's market for a 19-year-old is pretty cheap. Who's at that level?
So what you have to remember is that's not what we paid for him.
No.
We've paid 19 million. The other 15 million is add-ons. And knowing Man United, those add-ons are if we win the Champions League, if we find a monkey on the moon, and if Elvis Presley comes out of retirement and plays for United at centre-back instead of Maguire.
Are you writing these
contracts? What I mean? We're going to be playing £19 million for this youth. Trust me.
From what I've heard and the reports I've heard as well, for United fans, if we are looking for this Sancho deal to happen in the summer, it's not going to happen because they're rating this guy.
Sancho's done.
It's over. It's over. Yeah.
Sancho's deal is done. Is over.
They rate this guy higher than Sancho. Higher.
Yeah, that deal is done. That boat sailed. I mean, I'm hearing rumours about Chelsea. You know what? I don't care where Sancho goes now. He's not with us. We're not going to spend.
He had his window.
Yeah, even if they drop the price, they wanted 100. They're not going to drop it to less than 80. We're still not paying that. So that boat is gone. You know, another message from Luke Donald here. Man United had, hold on, let's see. Yeah, Man United had 2 points stolen off them. They were the better team for 80 minutes of the game.
100%. Yep. And then I'll hit the other one up. We'll just read these ones and we'll just do players thing and then we'll just call it a night, yeah?
Good, I can go and drink some more. Everton played well for 10 minutes after the half-time, then sat back. They got lucky at the end. Another good word in there.
No luck, they deserved it.
They deserved, yeah? De Gea isn't as imposing, and his last message here, sorry. De Gea isn't as imposing as he used to be.
Yep.
And yeah, that's a steal for a great player.
The young guy, Delal.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's hit the players now. Man of the match. H, your man in the match today. We have to do it.
Luke Shaw.
On Monday.
Can you come back to me? I'm just thinking.
Mr. V. Everyone's thinking.
You know what? Yeah, H, do you know what? You could be right. Mine was Bruno. I had Bruno in my head at the start of the show, just because of that semi-Cantona-esque sort of goal that he scored, the one against Sunderland. But if you look at probably gameplay, because Luke Shaw as well, he had that shot that the goalie saved in the first half. So you know what? Yeah, you know what, H? Yeah, I would give it to Luke Shaw. I'll go
Bruno.
Good call.
Bruno.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
Well,
what about you, Errol?
I'm going to give it to the new Brazilian at left back.
3-1.
Yeah, I think Luke Shaw. Listen, like I said, I don't know what's going on. Whatever he's drinking or whatever he's eating, just keep doing what you're doing. He's playing absolutely fantastic at the moment. And yeah, man in the match for me again. That's what, 3 games in a row? No, well, we had Wan-Bissaka last week, didn't we? So Luke Shaw.
I think he'll be our player of the month this month.
Yeah. What's this? Bruno, man in the match for United. Oh, okay. So he's given
And
Bruno
Gomez,
Fernandes. Yeah.
And Gomez man of the match for Everton.
Yeah. Yeah. So, guys, we're going to wrap up. Let's tell you what's coming up for tomorrow's show. So we've got the Tottenham Hotspurs preview show, I believe, tomorrow.
Who they playing?
They're playing West Brom.
Okay.
So Tottenham, West Brom.
Oh, Sam
reaction
for
show.
life, boy.
Sam
I
for
beg
life.
him. Give him something to smile about, man.
Yeah. So we've got that. We've got the Liverpool versus Man City reaction show coming tomorrow as well.
It's going to be a
I want
good
to
show.
see that
good
game.
Yeah. And then
be
we
a good show
also
and a good game.
at 8 o'clock tomorrow,
the
we've got the Carly Osborne show. So that's Carly Osborne ex Brentford, AFC Wimbledon, and Millwall player will be present in the Premier League reaction from all this week's goals and everything. So please, guys, tune in, like, subscribe. Thank you, guys, for all your comments. Thank you, Luke, as well, especially for a few comments.
Yeah.
And,
Big up, Luke, man. Big up, Luke.
And
Thanks, Luke.
Chris, we really appreciate you tuning in as well, and
Nice
supporting
one.
the cause as well. Really appreciate it, guys. Just look out for us. We are your Manchester United fans reaction and preview. So we'll be back for the West Ham game. I believe we're playing West Ham on Wednesday. So we'll be back on Tuesday night for the reaction. So, guys, thank you very much. Thank you.
Big up, Shah.
Thanks to H. Big thank to Amonde. And thank you very much to Mr. B. And we will be back here on Tuesday night with the FA Cup preview show against Everton. Thank you, guys.
Take it easy, lads.
Take care, bye.
Thank you.
Take care, bye.
Bye.